Do you have a favorite inspirational quote? It's kind of hard to get away from them and even harder to escape the ideas behind them. You know, like that work hard, play hard thing. You can have anything if you just work hard enough. Nothing in life is free. Just keep going. A quick internet search yielded these gems. The greatest pleasure in life is doing what people say you cannot do. Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Supposedly that's by Thomas Edison, but I have no idea if that's true. There are no shortcuts to any place worth going. Then how about this cold dose of reality from Tracy G? My Roman Empire is the fact that personal development books marketed to women are shelved in the self-help section, but books on similar topics marketed to men are in the leadership section. Weird, that. We're surrounded by the message of working and earning and personal development. So we bring it then to our faith. There's this temptation to try to earn our way into God's favor. And it's especially appealing to white middle-class people. Most of us, from the time we were children, have been told by our Depression-era parents and grandparents that we have to work for what we want, and that we can get whatever we want in life only by dedication and education and persistence. And many of us become so convinced of this that we begin to believe that hard work is the answer to all of our problems and our needs. Like I said, we bring this approach to our faith. When we come to worship then and we open our Bibles, and it looks like sometimes that hard work and grand gestures are valued. Like we open our Bibles to one of the accounts of Jesus' life and ministry, and we see this story of a man called the rich young ruler. And he came to Jesus asking, "What do I need to do to be saved?" And Jesus responds with a list of thou shalt nots, like thou shalt not murder, don't commit adultery, thou shalt not steal. And the guy's like, check, check, check. I've done all those things since I was young. And then Jesus adds something else. He says, go and sell everything you have and give the money to the poor. That's a grand gesture if I've ever heard one. And our minds then fill in the blanks. Like, surely I have to do something drastic to get God's love. Surely I have to make some grand gesture in order to prove to God how serious I am so that God will let me into the club. But the message of Jesus is good news about a status which we already have with God, which we don't need to earn and you can't work for. You can't work to earn the right to be your parent's child. You know, you already are that child. So the question we're facing is not, what can we do to get God to love us? The question is, what can we do in light of God's love for us? Like maybe Jesus was inviting the rich young ruler to live in response to God's love, in freedom from greed, in freedom from a scarcity mindset, in freedom from the need to earn God's love. What if you don't need to do anything to earn God's love? What if it's already yours? Because here's the thing, Jesus is the answer, which makes our question, what must I do to be saved, irrelevant and unnecessary. We're in a series based on the book by Will Willimon, which is currently in our micro bookstore, and it's also for sale on Amazon. I'm sure you could order it through any of your favorite local bookstores. And this series is called The Good News for the Person Who Has Everything. And we began last week asking the question, do I have to be weak in order to receive this good news? Today we're learning about this good news, that it's already yours. Next week, we'll discuss how the good news is a gift to be used, and then how the good news leads us to a life of gratitude. And finally, we'll ask if the good news is something we engage on my own. So today, I wonder how things would shift for you. How would your faith change if you came to the realization that you don't have to earn God's favor, that it's already yours? How would that change your faith? Like, what if it's only when we sense the permanence of God's love that we can recognize the fickleness that lives in us? What if it's only when we sense the truth in God that we can see the falsehood in ourselves? And what if only Christians can really be sinners? Because they're the ones who know just how much they're loved and can never really sense how much they've betrayed that love of God. Let's pause here for a chat question. Where have you noticed that message that you have to work hard to earn success or love? Turn to someone around you or put it in the chat.